Alright, hello everybody, this is Complexity with just a sort of a random run-of-the-mill cast that I wanted to do because there was a patch release today and I really wanted to cast this game. This was a game sent to me by RunToTheSun. I actually asked him for some replays because he recently hit rank number 1 OKW, and this is this patch, just to give you some idea, I don't remember the exact number, but this is the one where they changed the way kind of combat mechanics work. But most importantly, I think the big thing they changed was the buff to the Kubelwagen and just kind of the way the armor works, the way the combat kind of works. And I think RunToTheSun grasped it pretty quickly. Kubelwagen had like a wider sort of suppression range. It was just really good. So anyway, he sent me 2 replays. This was one of them. I felt this was like the better one. Where it was him versus Captain Sprice, who was obviously streaming, and obviously he made excuses after he lost. But that commentary comes for a different time. Anyway, I wanted to cast both this game and the other one, but the other one was kind of one-sided, and the map imbalance was clear. It was that crappy map with the easy cutoff, and Sprice was playing as the Soviets. So I felt like it wasn't... Even though Sprice lost pretty decisively, I didn't want to cast that game because I think it would be pretty unfair to him. Because of map imbalance. But this map, less map imbalance, I felt it was a pretty fair game to cast. So I'll just go ahead and just cast this one. So we have Kubelwagen first coming out for RunToTheSun's OKW, and he plays super aggressive. He's especially aggressive with his Sturmpile squad. We're going to keep an eye on that. Yeah, and then he just kind of goes into Volk's build, like a standard like 3 Volk open. So we're going to go back to Sprice, who I think is more curious what he's doing. He picks this doctrine right away with the mortar half track and the rifleman defensive structures, etc. I don't really know what these commanders are called. I just know what they do. So like we have the mortar half track, defensive structures that can build sandbags and mines. This is actually more like the infantry commander, I think, except that, like, they have like the Browning LMG upgrade, target artillery barrage, and the howitzer motor carriage, which I think is going to be important later. It's pretty good. All right, so Sprice, this is what we call a short flank, where you split them up, but they're both within its arc of fire, so you can approach it directly. But like neither of them get suppressed because like the suppression radius isn't high enough to get both of them. So that was pretty good. It was wise of RunToTheSun to back up here. And as you can imagine, he's just going Volk, 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 and Sprice is going rifle, rifle, rifle. So this is what we consider standard builds for both players. Looking at the map really quick, looks like Sprice is going for like this upper map. And it looks like, you know, it's interesting. RunToTheSun always kind of plays this way. He plays really defensive, sort of doesn't cap any more than he needs to. But then again, he doesn't really have the amount of men necessary to cap like the entire map right at the start. So he's kind of this, there's this awareness that he can't cap as hard as the American can. So it only takes what he definitely is able to. And yeah, this building is like super duper important. Like words don't describe how important it is for OKW to have building control, because they don't have a lot of very good means of clearing it out. Like their best means is like nades and bundled grenades. They don't have flamethrowers that just insta clear out buildings. So this is a disadvantageous engagement kind of for RunToTheSun. It was kind of a mistake for him to give up this building, but I think he's managing it well. Rifleman just kind of capped this top part. RunToTheSun was able to push him off of the fuel, at least. And Sprice aiming mostly to take out this Kubelwagen, because obviously it's like the super suppression device in this patch. It's just an important target for him to take out. So, first kind of technical unit from Sprice is the ambulance. Let's switch back over to the RunToTheSun, who just got his tier 2 started. This is the one that allows him to build like the artillery piece thing. Most importantly, that anti-tank thing comes out of there. I can't remember. It's like the head sword looking thing. Alright, so I would consider this a disadvantage engagement for Run to the Sun, but he has a really short, like, he could soft retreat back to here if he wanted to, but he's going to do a full retreat. That's probably wise. He lost control of middle, and Sprice is just kind of reaffirming control of this middle area. Alright, so tier 2's up, and he picked the Luftwaffe Doctrine with the MG34. He didn't call in any of them just because he had this Kubelwagen. So, kind of wasted there, I would consider it, but who knows. Alright, so he's calling in the MG34 right now. And Sprice now sees this tier 2. So he moves up his ambulance, actually. I think that's a pretty cool move. This is hyper aggressive, but it's like not in any sense a bad move. Where Run to the Sun, I think, is most talented is like his defensive play. His defensive play is just like, his defensive game sense is really good. He stays cool under pressure, and he like makes moves. He doesn't take too many like bad engagements in general. Like, he's always good at minimizing his losses, maximizing the amount of damage he does to the other enemy. So, I mean, this is definitely Sprice's advantage, though. I don't think we turn on Pogabor. Oh no, he does see that ambulance truck. So he should realize that this is just bad. Like the good news is he's got like this flanking sort of Volks here. The nade was important because it forced Sprice out of cover, so he has to kind of soft retreat out of this green cover. And now this lets Run to the Sun sort of focus this rifle squad and sort of slowly tech up, which I think is his main goal right here, is to just kind of play defensive, get his more technical units up. Alright, meanwhile, Sprice, he backs up the ambulance after he saw that he was kind of losing the engagement to the MG34 and this Kubelwagen. The Kubelwagen is just so good right now. It's really important to make this a primary target, and you can't really push into the Kubelwagen unless it's kind of out of position. So if it's in a defensive stance like here, you can't really get rid of it, but if it was like out here or this road, it's kind of easily flankable. So kind of, I think as an American player, it's a good idea to sort of bait the Kubelwagen into these aggressive positions and then flank it. And like, it's important to like lay mines too. I think during that last engagement, it would have been a good time for Sprice to lay some mines like here, here, because like he didn't really have vision. He had vision out to here and here, but he couldn't see things that were happening here. So if more lines were laid by Sprice, I think he'd be in a really good position to like take the map back, but he didn't. So it's kind of doing this rifle stall strategy with the whatever the I don't remember, the recon squad, whatever it's called, the really crappy squad that's not really good at anything except repairing vehicles. I think these are great because I think at Vet 3 or Vet 2, yeah, it like that goes to squad size 5. Just like more units can die, more targets are available to get murdered. I don't know if, I think it might improve their repair. I don't know. These are things like crews will have a better idea of what's going on, but I really don't. Yeah, and obviously he's gonna die to the mine there. Well, that's not really a good trade. At least those squads are cheap, so you can just kind of spam them all day. Alright, so map control looks like firmly in Sprice's advantage, but like I said, Run to the Sun's advantage is he plays super defensive, nabbing whatever victory points he needs just to transition to his like superior late game. Really you need to like dislodge him because he plays super defensive. It's a good idea to kind of get those mortar units out. I felt like Sprice could have gotten that mortar half track, but I think he's saving fuel for, he's like teching more quickly. Yeah, he's going straight to captain. Like there's no major, sorry, this is the major, and the next one is captain, is like right below that. He has the LT lieutenant, comes with a BAR. It's pretty good. But yeah, this Kubelwagen is going to give him hell. Like, it's not going to let him push into these cutoff points, or things that value, that Run to the Sun kind of values. Alright, so just to quickly go over the teching, he went LT right into Major, he skipped the captain, so there will be no AT guns or howitzers or Stewarts. So he's going straight to the big guns, the Sherman, the Jackson, you know. Maybe even this howitzer carriage, motor carriage would be pretty nice. Yeah, like this Kuwawagen is doing work because it's not really getting baited out into like bad places. It's like super safe. This is kind of how you want to use a Kuwawagen. And looks like we're also seeing some aggressive tech in here too from RunToTheSun. We got a tier 4. So let's actually switch over to him. What's he building right now? Alright, so we went 4 Volk, put a Panzer Shrek on 1 in the squad. He hasn't had a whole lot of resources, so really all he could afford was like 1 or 2 Panzer Shreks. So we got Battle of the MGs. I think this M2HB is a better HMG than the 34, but the 34 is in green cover in this engagement, so it can like suppress, and that's like having an MG suppress like seriously like majorly reduces its damage output. Hardcore. Like its reload drops to like nothing, and yeah, so I think it's also really cool the way RunToTheSun, like he loses his middle VP and he immediately starts threatening the other 2. Yeah, so they're gonna chase him up here, but this Volk's free to like threaten this fuel and in a really good position in general. But it looks like Sprice actually remembers that he was capping that, so he's gonna play defensive here and try to push these Volks off. So yeah, that's good. So at least he saw it. But most importantly, RunToTheSun is like staying in the VP game. He's not losing too many VPs, so this like caters to his really defensive strat that he's got going. Oh no, yeah, that's horrible. LT lost. I don't know why it retreats. Oh, the major. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, that's. So yeah, maybe if the retreat point was like over here and he ran over this fence. It's really important to like keep track of your retreat paths because like yeah, you could lose a lot of units on retreat to just mostly the stern piles. Stern piles, wherever those stern piles are. Yeah, they're just so mean and aggressive. All right, looks like he did get the retreat thing here. You'll see RunToTheSun floating a lot of manpower, and this is when he's like his mid game is largely defensive. This is how he played Wehrmacht in COH1, and this is kind of how it's carrying over to his OKW in COH2. So just be aware of that if you're one of those people at high ranks that are playing people like RunToTheSun who are ranked 1 OKW, as of this patch at least. Yeah, and I guess it's important to note that Sprice has no indirect fire units. He has this HMG. He has this major. So a question I would pose probably to RunToTheSun is what kind of counterplay does he have for an American player that goes some more indirect fire units, such as a mortar carriage, pack howitzer, you know, good units like that. All right, looks like he's realizing he's kind of got this manpower float, so he's going for Obersterlauten, and you'll see him go for this Lux too, just because it's like really good at preventing infantry from capping. And I think he probably will go Lux, just because it's going to be really hard for,
prepare for combat.
Well, as of right now, going to be really hard for Sprice to take care of something like that until he has a Sherman. Let's go ahead and see what Sprice is up to, actually. Don't I have, like, can't I, like, there's a way to toggle it so I can see both resources. I don't know why I'm so bad at this. I'm really kind of new to casting, but I felt like this was something that needed to be casted just because of the patch. On-screen resource warnings. Yeah, never mind. We'll not worry about it. Just because I'm so bad at this nonsense of casting, we'll just kind of play it out. Okay. I really should have prepared more.
Destroyer is ready for orders.
So he goes Jackson first, which is fantastic. If he keeps this secret, he'll be in a really good position to counterplay RunToTheSun here. Note to self, do a better job of casting. Be prepared, I guess. I really should have like ran a test run, but I didn't. Yeah, those Volks ran through a lot of stuff. HMG, the Browning, etc., etc. Oh god, like I will say it's great that Relic are patching the game so often with all these hotfixes, but man, it is really screwing over the casting community. And they're not posting patching schedules either. So like a lot of these patches are kind of surprised. They're just kind of like, watch out, because we're gonna be patching soon. And then like, so all these casters are just like, whoa, shit, I better get my cast in because I don't know when the patch is gonna drop. And they really don't tell you. So it looks like he's got the IE
Under fire. Take ready.
Indirect fire unit, which I think this thing is great. Like, holy crap, it's great. And it looks like he does know, RunToTheSun does know about this Jackson. And it just kind of walks into this Volk squad. And I think he was thinking about threatening this Battle Group headquarters, but instead he just kind of revealed a ton of information that he had a Jackson instead of a Sherman. So, I mean, it's just bad shape. Like, you don't ever want to reveal too much teching to RunToTheSun because he'll just counterplay that. It's his defensive style. It really caters to that. Like, your best bet against RunToTheSun is kind of baiting him into, like, bad teching decisions by, like, not showing your own teching decisions. Like, you want him to tech offensively rather than defensively. But instead, I think he's going to go for just really solid AT here. Like, God, that was annoying. Yeah, okay. He's going to try to dislodge this M2 HP. The 50 cal. Yeah, but at least he can sort of repair his stuff. But, like, this is kind of not really how you want to play Americans. You want to play aggressive, sort of have the momentum on your side. You don't want to lose too many squads either. Like, you lost that lieutenant. Lieutenants are, like, really amazing. Ah, that hurt. That was bad. Oh, God. This is kind of why I like this unit. It's kind of a risky unit because it actually doesn't have a wide AoE except against, like, it looks like he got this Jackson to specifically counter the Kulevagen, which I think is actually kind of funny. But,
What the hell? Where's that coming from?
when it actually hits stuff, it's, like, really good. I'm talking, of course, about the IE-18 infantry support gun. Alright, so it looks like he's upgrading a lot of fuel points just so he can get, like, spam a lot more of the Jacksons and stuff. Alright, this is strong falls play here. Gonna dislodge the 50 cal. Yeah, and I see Sprice do this a lot, kind of the defensive major and then just like crowding around the ambulance. And usually that's pretty good, but you know, notice how he's not actually threatening this VP here. Oh shit. It's taking damage from this thing now. IE-18. Alright, well, at least his riflemen are good. Like, the Browning is excellent for taking on Volks, and it improves, like, their 1v1 strength that you kind of want. Especially since, like, the early mid-game OKW entails a lot of Volks spamming into, like, strong armor. Like, that's... You kind of... I think this is honestly the best doctrine choice when you're up against OKW. But really, Sprice needs to start threatening this victory point, because otherwise, I swear to God, like, AS RunToTheSun will play these 1-hour games that, like, just involve sitting on VPs and just sort of bleeding your manpower with, like, indirect fire units, Panthers, etc.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
It'll get annoying quick. That's all I'm saying. Like, you'll feel like you're running into a wall. And you don't have a lot of vision to dislodge him. Alright, so see Sprice is getting a Sherman here. Alright, yeah, it's not gonna let me. Okay, yeah. Sherman coming out. Let's see what RunToTheSun's teching's looking like. Alright, so we have 4 Volk, Luftwaffe, Obersoldaten. You'll see a lot of spending a lot of manpower here. It looks like T4 is building the Panther. Looks like he finally got that Kulevagen. Sweet. Yeah, finally destroyed it. Yeah, he's going that Panther. You'll see him go Panther pretty often. These guys are just like so flexible in their target. And they're obviously better than Jacksons. Whereas like the best counter to Panthers is like more Jacksons. Like you want like 3 Jacksons to 2 Panthers, 2 Jacksons to 1 Panther. So I might be a little too late for this Sherman. If he keeps it alive, that'll be good. but I don't know. It's just gonna be bad. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. You'll notice the HMG. He took it, didn't he? I swear to God, he took it. No, okay. So what he does is he actually does the salvage operations on those weapon crews just for free fuel. He'll just dismantle them, which is just like really efficient, hyper fuel efficient. All right, this thing starts getting annoying after a while. Ability to avoid hollow charge rounds. Oh right, yeah, the anti-tank. Yeah, all right. He's looking to take out this ambulance. He's trying to find the ambulance now. Ooh, but instead he's just murdering riflemen. That'll have to do it. Alright, Panthers mostly to counter this Sherman. He'll probably get more Panthers too as they become available. Yeah, and he'll just drop his manpower on these Obersoldaten, Luftwaffe, etc., etc. Alright, meanwhile, Sprice, he's lost his Sherman. No, he's repairing. Okay, I was just like, what the fuck? Where'd it go? It was just here. Mostly it looks like he's suffering a lot of manpower bleed. He's taking so much damage from this stupid IE support thing. LE, sorry. LEIG. I don't know what to call it. 7.5 centimeter? I don't know. I always call it the annoying howitzer unit because that's exactly what it is. It'll just bleed him. Looks like that's exactly what's happening. He's not rocking a whole lot of manpower income. 200. That's a shit ton of like upkeep he's suffering from. Yeah, like goes up by 10 just by crewing the Sherman. Like if your shit's not doing anything, you might even want to consider like decrewing it because holy shit, you lose a lot of manpower. Meanwhile, RunToTheSun, he's actually under a lot of upkeep too, but he's not losing a lot of like Volks, and they're really cheap to reinforce too. So yeah, notice it. Bad engagement, just retreat the Obersoldaten. He's sitting on 2 VP. This is really good for him. Like yeah, he's like I think primarily he's winning this like manpower thing, even though his upkeep's really high. He's not losing a lot of Volks or Obersoldaten, so he's just in really good shape going into mid-late game. Nice designating. Nice designating. Jackson. Scoy. Alright, yeah, and so this is just the point where, I guess, he's just saving manpower for when he needs reinforced because he kind of recognizes that his manpower income is really, really low. So he's just like, yeah, I'll just take pot shots at you with my 7.5 centimeter artillery, annoying artillery unit, and just bleed you out of your manpower. And yeah, he's been aiming for that thing the entire like time. I think he activated a hollow charge. Yeah, he did activate the hollow charge. He's been trying to take care of that thing for ages. Force Sprice to like replace it. And potentially like retreat all the way back to here. So yeah. Harassment, we lost a lot. HMG protecting the victory point. Obviously a good engagement for RunToTheSun just because he knows he checks out that ambulance so he can push up. Push up, use the annoying artillery unit. So, the reason why RunToTheSun isn't getting aggressive, like on the road, is because he doesn't know if there are mines. And if he gets mined, if it's Panther hits a mine, it's like over for him. So, I mean, if you know he's got a Panther, you probably shouldn't go another Sherman. Like I said, your best way to engage that is by having 2 Jacksons. 2 Jacksons will generally do pretty well against a Panther. Like, defensively. Alright, yeah, and like the range notice is like a whole screen, which is really good, but for some reason it's not penetrating. Probably because it doesn't have a whole lot of that. Alright, yeah, it's working though. Does it lose veterancy when you like decrew it? I feel like it does. Yeah, oh god. This is bad. Yeah, alright, so here's the aggressive play. He's got the manpower, he's got the munitions, he can start bleeding out here. Really forcing Sprice into a corner now. That was like the best use of this ability I've ever seen. This airborne assault is generally kind of shit because like you drop it into a point and then they all die and then you're just feeling terrible. Like, oh my god, mistakes were made. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of suppression. Those really dished it out. Yeah, and it's just like coming out of his dick. Alright, he's packing up. Alright, yeah, he's just gonna retreat. That's probably wise. He might even lose it on a retreat here. Meanwhile, just threatening the VP. Oh, wow. Oh, no! Okay, cool, he got away. Yeah, that was a good push. Good use of that ability. And then, like, he had manpower in case he, like, lost stuff. And he's just gonna, like, soft retreat back. And he's gonna get his tier 3. Probably going KT. Like, that's the only reason to really get this thing is if you're going King Tiger. Because the King Tiger requires all 4 tiers. Something I kind of found out the hard way. I was just like, oh yeah, I could just go T1, T2, T4, KT. But you need every single truck in order to do that. Alright, so this guy, I would consider it a bad position. Especially since, like, RunToTheSun remembered to mine roads in good places. He did good things. It looks like Sprice just kind of smelled weakness over here. He's like, well, I lost it over here, so let's just push in over here. And I think he really should have done this in the first place. Because, I mean, if, like, the retreat point was, like, here, he can more easily, like, if retreat point here, he can more easily threaten these 2 victory points and just kind of sit on that. Rather, he was, like, here, and he just, like, lost the middle. Like, he couldn't easily get aggressive just because he had, like, RunToTheSun had, like, all these defensive points. Okay. So, good, like, Jackson usage, but bad Sherman usage. It was good that he was, like, kind of threatening this T4 AA building. Gets it down to low. But, like, this Panther's really giving him hell. Like, he needs to find some sort of counter for that. AT guns are okay. Bazookas are okay. Really, he just needs Jacksons. I think these are, like, his best bet. Alright, so, don't let me forget. It's got Vet 1 on here. He's gonna chop out and, like, repair it, probably. Yeah, okay, he's repairing it. So let's see if the Vet kind of carries over. I'm kind of curious what happens. What happens with Vet 3 on these guys? Like, what's the point? Harder to hit. Repair time. Repair criticals with the special ability. Rapidly repair criticals. Whatever. Alright, cool. Kind of keep that in mind, I guess. Keep that in your toolkit. Alright, yeah, okay. So it did keep the veteran C Vet 1. Alright, yeah. And most importantly, it allows them to use HVAP, which is like the most important ability ever. Because that allows them to go toe-to-toe with shit like this. And Shermans, I think, get that too. Alright, good. So there's the second Jackson. That's what we need right now. Yeah, Sherman for infantry, Jacksons for taking out trucks, and hopefully killing the Panther. But, like, important to note, like, it's going to be harder to kill this Panther, especially at Vet 2. It gets skirts. Like, holy shit, that's really good. Those are OP in, like, COH1. If you got a Vet 3 Panther with skirts, it was basically indestructible and you could do whatever you wanted with it. It was like GG, but at least his Panther Elite, I think. Wehrmacht 2. Alright, so he's got these Panzer Shreks to counter the Jacksons. Let's see how these Jacksons do against this Panther. We've got, like, what I would consider like a solid, ideal engagement against this Panther. Yeah, alright, so it's not doing any damage. It's got 3 Jacksons. The Sherman is like bait, while the 2 Jacksons just sort of like fire on it. No damage. Front armor, nothing. Zilch 0. Yeah, shit, that's bad. And, like, notice he's just floating manpower, floating fuel. Like, he's got no problem here. Yeah, he's kind of pushing in just to, like, threaten these, like, come to GTFO, you stupid Jacksons. But it's not really working because he's got these strong LMGs. Oh, and he loses the Obersoldaten to the Rifleman LMGs. That's actually great. Great for Sprice. Oh, there's a penetrating shot. That'll do. That's gotta feel good. He's gotta back off. Now, the good news is he would be able to push in with the Sherman, but the Sherman's kind of damaged and hurt and dying. Alright, there it goes. Lost another LMG. Or HMG, actually. I think that's technically an HMG. And this thing is just mopping up. After it, like, gets rank 4, it's so good. Especially, like, rank 5, I think, is, like, not as big of a deal. But I think 4 is, like, where you start getting into, like, ridiculous status. So he's got 4 Volks, 2 Luft. He lost the Obersoldaten, 2 LMGs. Haven't really lost them. Those LMGs were mostly to cover victory points. And it looks like he's going for this guy, Jagdpanzer. Okay, so that I forgot the name earlier, but now we know. Panther's ready to go, ready to dance again. This Sherman's also ready to dance. It's Vet 2 on the Jackson. That's good. Yeah, alright. So, this is kind of a dull sort of wall versus wall sort of thing. I think Sprice just kind of plays that way. This is like kind of the meta for COH2 right now. You have your wall, the enemy has their wall, and the OKW win just because their late game is so good. Their late game units are just better. So I think, man, it's hard for me to say this because you know I'm not very good at Americans. I don't play a lot of Americans. I'll just like that's my disclaimer. But I think as an American player, you gotta be aggressive. You gotta go in ham like this. Gotta make pushes like this. But like, the problem is the meta doesn't really cater to that. Like the meta is largely defensive units and stuff like that. But the good news is he might be able to take out this Jagdpanzer, which is ideal, I think. Like, because this is kind of like a wasted tech decision. And it looks like he's getting unlucky with the penetration. It's going to be a main gun critical. The Panther just wants to try to scare him off because he doesn't want to lose the Jagdpanzer. Because like that was an important tech decision he made. He doesn't want to lose it. All right, let's switch back over to Sprice. He's got 2 Shermans, 2 Jacksons. He's just piling on vet, which I think he wants. Like he wants veterancy on these, so they can take care of Panthers. And Jagdpanzers. Panthers and Jagdpanzers. Jagdpanzer 4. Bring back the Hetzer, please. The Hetzer is like the best unit in the game. And I want it to be just like COH1 Hetzer. Hail Mary Hetzer, baby. It's coming back. I swear to God, it's gonna come back. Do they have like abilities where like Volks can repair tanks? I think that would be really interesting. Kind of annoying. Probably overpowered, but interesting. He really needs to lay more mines. There's one thing that's annoying me about Price's play right now. It's the lack of mines. Oh shit, where's this landing? That's not very good. I would have liked to have seen it over here. And then he could make like tank pushes. Because it would force his infantry to move back. And so his tanks can potentially take care of the Panther. Alright, there's another Sherman. We're really facing the VP bleed right now. And this is, once again, RunToTheSun's advantage. Like, he always will just 2-to-1 VP lead you. And it looks like Price just is kind of lost on his, like, retreat path. He's lost so much infantry. He's down to 2 rifles now. And no HMGs. He's lost his HMGs. So his infantry game is now like gone. It's like non-existent. So he's just gonna rely on his Shermans and Jacksons at this point, which is kind of not smart. I guess combined arms is a good thing, but at the same time, they're just like you need some infantry support for like the tank engine damage and all that good stuff. I'm kind of trying to dismantle Price's thought process here, or at least break it down and understand why he's going hard Sherman, hard Jackson. Like, yeah, there goes the Jackson. His Jacksons and Shermans got split up there, so it allows him to like focus one at a time with the Panther Jagdpanzer combo here. And yeah, he's gonna lose another rifle here if those guys get their hits. Yeah, so he's down to like no anti-tank. I probably would have gotten 4 Jackson and then like gotten more rifle squads just to like get those Brownings up. And then like if he mined like around here, if he laid some mines, he probably could have gotten some counterplay on the Sherman and this Yogg. Like look at how aggressive this Yogg is. Like if there were any mines anywhere on like the road, defensive mines, they would have hit the mine and then like we would have seen some Run to the Sun panic. And like bear in mind, like he only has 1 mine detection and it's from his stern pilot squad. Alright, so the good news is Jackson's like super vet 3. Yeah, like it should be able to take it out, no problem. But I don't think vet 3 to vet 3 Panther is good for it. But he's gonna go ham. He's going ham. He wants his Panther. He knows it's low.
Armor here.
So, yeah, alright. This is probably active desperation. I'm down to 100 VPs. So, let's see what happens. And he takes a shot on that Panther. But the Panzer strikes. Oh my god, no, that's bad.
A medium tank was just
So, let's see what happens here. Yeah, he's just gonna kill it, isn't he? Is he gonna kill it? Oh god, he's recrewing it. No, GG. GG, there it is. Yeah, like, you lose a Jackson like that, forget it. Alright, so, alright. This isn't like a normal, like, Plexi cast thing. I don't do these casts very often, but I decided to do this one just because of the patch. And I kind of wanted to watch it. Wanted other people to watch it. Just see how Run to the Sun plays OKW. Who is someone I really respect. Alright, so now we're just going to do plugs, so you can tune out now. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/sexylexi. The 3s replace the E's, so that's S3XY, L3XY. Twitch.tv/sexylexi. Follow me on YouTube. Thumbs up, guys. It really helps me out. Blah, blah, blah. All that crap. Also follow me on Twitter at Complexity1. So C0MPL3X1TY1. Follow me there. Alright. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you appreciated this cast, and I'll do more if I feel like it. You're welcome. Bye.